Mystery Mansion Mayhem. The Case of the Vanishing Treasures. In the quiet corner of a bustling city stands an old building. On its third floor, in a modestly furnished office filled with the mementos of solved cases, our young detective, Rose, sits contemplating a peculiar piece of mail. Rose reads out the invitation to her colleague, Emily, who is smart and has helped Rose in solving many of the previous cases. Rose informs Emily to study the case and accept the invitation of Ravenwood Manor. Emily takes it as a challenge, as she had heard many mystery stories about the manor. She sets out to visit the mystery mansion. As Emily reaches the manor, she is welcomed by a huge sound of a creaking door, which is opened by Chloe, a caretaker, and the manager, Mr. Edward. Chloe guided Emily through the corridors and brought her to the ballroom where the auction event was happening. Emily saw something amiss while walking through the corridors, and at the ballroom, she saw a head chef standing at the corner. There was a beautiful artifact kept in the middle of the room. Suddenly the room was totally dark. When the light came, a heart-shaped balloon was replaced by artifact and head chef was missing. Emily went to dining room and asks head chef,
"What were you doing earlier in the ballroom?"
"Oh, I was waiting for Mr. Edward to inform me when to serve the welcome drinks to the guests."
Though Emily was not convinced by his reply, she can't judge one person as there were many guests in the mansion. She walked through the corridor and met more people on the way. They were the photographers for the event. Emily called Rose to join her, and both started investigating from the housekeeper's room, as it was near to the ballroom, dining, and kitchen. They interrogated all the available housekeeper and found nothing. Emily then entered Mr. Edward's room and called all the assistant managers. Even they never knew what had happened, as they were busy attending each guest's. Emily entered the room of the other staffs and started interrogating, but nothing came out as clue. She then proceeded to library to understand the significance of the discovery, which she had gathered some through her interrogation. Rose was already in the library, searching through the old files and boxes.
"Rose, did you found anything?"
"Nothing much."
They both searched the books, files, and uncovered the tales of the mansion's past owners, their obsessions and hidden treasures. Conversations with long-time staff who shared anecdotes and legends about the mansion gave them some clues. They learnt about secret alliances, past scandals, and unexplained occurrences that connected to the disappearance of artifacts. Discovering another clue, possibly an old photograph, that opens a new line of inquiry. The clue points to one of the guests in a way that is impossible to ignore. As Rose was discussing with the staff, Emily sneaked out of the room as she wanted to understand the need to act quickly to prevent further incidents. She saw a shadow walking past the corridor and kept following. The chase leads to losing sight of the figure until Emily discovers a dropped item, possibly a personal belonging of the thief. In the pursuit, Emily stumbles in front of a hidden room, not previously encountered. A space filled with items that have gone missing from the mansion over the years, Emily says to herself.
"Oh my, what a surprise!"
Mansion's host and old staff, Olivia, finds Emily in the secret room, leading to a tense exchange.
"What are you doing here?"
"Oh, I found this room while investigating. What kind of room is this with all the artifacts and antiques?"
"The room is a storage for items which we want to restore."
Emily, still not convinced with the reply, tries to connect the stolen items with the guests' and staff's interests and histories. On the following day, Emily arranges all guests and staffs to gather in the mansion's main hall. She starts by revisiting the night of the theft, laying out the timeline of events, presenting each piece of evidence collected.
"Welcome, everyone! I am about to reveal the culprit's name, but before that, I would like everyone to understand how the theft occurred. The artifacts from the mansion were sneakily taken from the rooms to a secret room by the mansion staffs. On the night of the theft, happened same way. There were, however, few people inside this mansion who made it happen. The culprit had planned well, ensuring that no one would have a clue who he was, but however, had few loopholes in their plan. The theft has been done by the manager, Mr. Edward."
After listening to this, all the guests were shocked.
Miss Rose and Miss Emily has done a great job and found out my secrets. My actions were not driven by greed or revenge, but by a desperate attempt to save the mansion's future. I had stayed here for many years. This mansion is under huge debt. I was not happy about the owner's decision to sell the house. Instead, I found out a way to save it by stealing the artifacts, so the owners can receive the insurance money.
Although guests were feeling pity for Mr. Edward, the law had to be upheld. Mr. Edward agreed to face the consequences of his actions, as he knew that his actions had been wrong. Emily called the police and handed over Mr. Edward and his accomplices. Rose and Emily thus ended a solved mystery case to their files, and all the artifacts were returned to the owner of the mansion. Thank you for watching.